video. This is the Glow Theory podcast. I'm your host, Jay Marie, and welcome back. So this episode, we will be talking about how you need to stop shrinking yourself. You gotta stop apologizing for just existing. You shouldn't feel ashamed, nor embarrassed, nor any type of way. You shouldn't have to put any or hide any parts of yourself. So the vibe is obviously healing, growing. We want to love ourselves more. We want to just be authentic. We don't care what the crowd thinks. That's the vibe. So grab your drink, grab a snack, whatever it is. Play me in the background and let's get into it. So segment 1. Have you ever said sorry for asking a question, or you're having conversations with someone and you just keep saying sorry, or I'm sorry I'm this, I'm sorry I'm that, or apologizing and trying to excuse yourself and your behaviors and your little quirky things that you do, just apologizing for being you? Is that what you're doing? See, there is definitely like a quiet grief and exhaustion that comes with constantly putting yourself down, constantly apologizing, constantly excusing yourself and your mannerisms and your behaviors and who you are as a person, truly invalidating who you are and your authenticity and what makes you unique and different, and just shushing away this person that doesn't need to be shushed away. So segment 1, we're just kind of figuring out if this is the vibe. We're seeing if this is something that you can relate to, and if you are already checking off the boxes, like, yeah, I do that, we will keep diving in. It's like, think about it, like, what parts of myself have I been apologizing for? Why am I apologizing for existing, for just being myself? And that gets us into segment 2. Why we apologize for existing. This definitely can come from childhood wounds of being quiet. You're told to be quiet. You're told to not make a scene. You're told that you're too sensitive when you were growing up, or you had parents tell you to stop crying, or I will give you something to cry about. Little things like that teaches you that your needs, your feelings, and who you are is just invalidated, that it's inconvenient for people. So as a child, when you constantly experience this putting down and this, you need to stop crying, you need to stop doing this, you need to be quiet, you need to do da 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 da, like literally just like trying to shove you into this corner to not be yourself, to not express emotions at all, it conditions you and teaches you as you grow older that your existence, your mannerisms, and who you are and how you speak and your feelings and everything like that is inconvenient. You feel like you don't want to put a burden on other people. You don't want to overdo it with other people, because that's what you've been taught. You've been taught that in order to be liked by other people, you need to completely get rid of your sense of self and your personality and your feelings and your emotions, for then you will feel some sort of a convenience for people, where people will enjoy you. There's also societal conditioning, and I'm going to use this as an example because I am a Black woman, where Black women in society have been conditioned or had this narrative pushed out onto them that all Black women are loud, they're crazy, and this, that, and the third. So when they want to voice whatever it is that they need to voice or speak up on something that they don't find just, it's a problem, or it's deemed as loud and ghetto, and that has conditioned Black women to not want to speak up because they don't want to be perceived as this said narrative of being loud and crazy and this, that, and the third, when really they're just speaking their mind. And even when Black women are up and speaking up their mind, they will still get labeled as angry or too opinionated or whatever the fuck kind of things society wants to roll out. And so that starts to tone down the brilliance, the intelligence. It starts to tone down what they gotta say, and then just becoming low maintenance or easygoing, or just agreeing with whatever anyone says because you don't want to be in that stereotypical narrative of what Black women are. That was just an example, but societal conditioning can come in all different forms. If you can kind of understand the message and understand that there's different forms to it, then it can apply to you. Or if obviously you're a Black woman, this will apply to you. Yeah, societal conditioning literally just trains you to be something that you don't need to be, that you're not, that is just not true to you or true to who you are. And lastly, trauma response. So I'm going to use like fawning as an example. It's the people pleasing trauma response where you're constantly over apologizing for things, and obviously over giving, overdoing this, overdoing that, but one of the aspects being over apologizing because you don't want to let people down. You want to change and morph your personality and your identity to better fit whatever the vibes are around you. It's like a chameleon. You're trying to adjust and shape shift to whatever it is so that there's no harm, no done, so that you're not targeted, so that you are at the same level as everyone else, adjusting to their needs constantly and overthinking. And so many of us were taught that feeling seen was never safe. So when you shrink yourself to be well fitted or adjusted for whatever crowd you are in, you are abandoning yourself. You're abandoning who you are and your identity and this unique person that you are with all these different talents and quirks and mannerisms. You're abandoning the version of you who was literally created and made to take up space. There are definitely lots of numbers, countless of times where I was in all of those positions where I just was very much apologizing for my personality and always trying to adjust my personalities and my mannerisms to better fit whatever environment I'm in, because I was afraid to be seen. I was afraid of people perceiving me and my own authenticity. I was afraid of being judged because that's how I grew up. I grew up in a very obviously toxic, abusive household growing up, but also the judgment and the criticism. I could not be myself because it was going to be critiqued. So I learned that in order to be liked, I had to be quiet. I had to adjust to whatever the vibe is. I had to just sit and just kind of observe whatever is going on. So if that sounds like you, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. It's 2025. We don't do that anymore. No. We can blame the parents for sure who raised us in those environments, whatever it is, but take charge of you and your life and your growth and change that. If you're tired of, and it's exhausting, it is exhausting trying to morph into these different characters because you're trying to adjust it for other people. That is beyond exhausting because you're not yourself. You are literally taking away from you. You're not operating in who you are, truly. It's exhausting, so of course. So we're gonna stop doing that, okay? Tell yourself, no, we're not doing this anymore. We don't apologize anymore. We don't apologize for simply existing. No, absolutely not. And obviously it does take a lot of work to figure that out and reclaim that part of yourself that is afraid of being seen. It takes a lot of work to get back to the root of those problems, whether that be societal conditioning, trauma, whatever it is. It takes a lot of work. It starts with you, obviously, but you got to figure it out. You got to start from the very bottom and figure that shit out because it's exhausting and you're taking away from yourself and you're taking away from this unique person, this unique character that is meant to exist and take up space. Okay, we're gonna move on to segment number 4, the energy of unapologetic existing. I don't know why that was kind of hard for me to say, but anyways, obviously you already know I got my notes here, so don't mind me. So it's time to shift from awareness to empowerment. Just little reminders like you don't have to be less to be loved. Your voice is not too much. It's your frequency, it's your energy, it's who you are. Shine bright, let it be heard, let it be known. Not everyone's going to agree with it because we're all humans with different perceptions and things that we understand. Of course not. That's what it is. It is what it is, but it's about you standing truly grounded and planted in who you are and not being afraid of being seen and being loud and expressing yourself and existing. And you don't need permission to rest or take up space or to be seen or to feel or to speak. You don't need permission for any of that. Let's rewire the brain where your parents might have told you you need to act like this, and this in order for people to like you, or else you will get in trouble. No, 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 no. We're shifting that mindset to, I don't need permission to be myself or take up space. I don't need permission to exist. I don't need permission to honor who I am. I don't need permission to voice how I feel or speak up how I want to speak up. None of that shit. Okay, it's all about rewiring that brain and the subconscious mind constantly. Repetition is key. In order for you to learn, to understand, to take that in, download it, it will start to show in your actions and how you operate. It takes time, obviously, but it's all about you, what you're willing to do for yourself. So steps to reclaiming of taking up space. Replace the word sorry with gratitude. Examples like, instead of sorry I'm late, it can be, you can say, you know what, thank you for waiting. I appreciate you waiting for me. Obviously, this example does not apply to all things. It can be certain little things like meeting up with a friend and you're accidentally late, or meeting up with like people, you're just meeting up with people and you're running a little behind. You can say thank you for waiting. Thank you for taking your time to wait for me, whatever it is. Thank you for understanding, but I just can't make it, period. If you don't want to meet up with people or friends or whatever it is, and all of a sudden, you changed your mind, just say, okay, you know what? Thanks for understanding, guys, but I got other things going on, or I got this going on, or whatever it is. It's really about putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations to rewire your brain into thinking otherwise, and to stop apologizing over things that you don't really need an apology for. All right, so number 2 is small talk. Practice what you need without over explaining or overdoing it for people. Say you need something from someone, you need to borrow this. Practice not overly explaining your situation and what's going on and what you need and how you need it and why you need it and why your granddaddy needs it. Stop doing that. Just keep it cute, short, clear, and don't overthink it. Trip your brain out to not overthink it, because it's gonna try and like reel you back in and be like, oh my God, what are they gonna think about me? What are they gonna say? I need to over explain this because I don't want them to think this and X, Y, and Z. Like, no, let's just calm down. Okay, take a deep breath, because you're gonna be fine. The answer, whatever information they give back to you, you're gonna be fine regardless. So just practice allowing yourself to not over explain. There's no need to over explain things to certain people. There's just no need for that, or these extra added explanations that don't need to be in there. You just feel like you have to do that. And I'm just telling you that whoever is on the other line or on the receiving end of what you're saying, they probably don't really care that much. I promise you, they probably don't. So it's okay to not over explain. Like I said, it does depend on the person, the situation, but if it's someone that is very casual or someone that you don't really see too often, or it's a stranger, you don't need to over explain yourself, okay? It's okay. Number 3, you can do like mirror affirmations that could help for those who are spiritually inclined or understand the spiritual sense of things. Affirmations can be really, really helpful. Honestly, not just for spiritual sense, it's repetition. It is telling yourself, it is telling your subconscious, and it is downloading, and it's being informed constantly. So it will put whatever you say into action and continue to do so. But it's all about you. It's all about the repetition and the consistency. You can say things like, I am safe being fully me, looking in the mirror. You can say that. Put your hand on your chest and say that. Remind yourself that even before you go to bed, because words that you say still are present when you are sleeping. You can say things, I will not abandon myself to be accepted. Or you can say, I'm a divine presence. I deserve to be here. I deserve to take up space. And telling yourself and overriding those overthinking thoughts that want to try and take over, telling them, no, you know what, I do deserve to be here. I do deserve to take up space. I do deserve to be myself and be loud and speak how I want to and express my mannerisms exactly how I want to. And those little overthinking thoughts might come and take over, but it's like, challenge it with, why? Why not though? Why shouldn't I? I deserve this. It is my birthright. Repetition is key. Number 5, heal that inner child. Sit with that version of you that first learned to shrink themselves and just Inner child work is a lot. It's very complex. It's very different with this situation and this topic of what I'm talking about. Just imagining yourself sitting with that inner child or that child version of you who had to shrink themselves and be little and be quiet and not express who they truly are. Just imagining yourself sitting with them, you know, as the adult version of you, and or whoever's watching, and just saying, like, you're allowed to feel, you're allowed to be you, you're allowed to express, you're allowed to be authentic. Or, I know this is gonna sound corny, but literally you can grab a pillow and hug it and pretend it's like, imagine that it's like the child version of you, and say those things and honor those within your heart, within your mind. And I know it sounds corny, but that shit works. Inner child work, very complex, very different. All different things work differently for people. So test it out. Don't knock it till you try it. And to start to close things off, I just want to say, like, all of these points are things that I have experienced, that I have understood to be true. I definitely was that child who was shrunken down, very, very low, and operated in the shell of a person that was just not real, that was not authentic, that was formulated by everyone's perception, or what I thought their perception of me would have been. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting trying to have these different personalities to better fit and adjust yourself with the environment, because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to be seen as this or as that and the third. And it's like, I already had so much shit going on for me, you know, being a foster kid, being a Black girl, and, you know, kind of grew up ugly too. So that was just added to the cherry on top. And just feeling like an outsider all the time, and obviously being traumatized, being abused, being whatever the fuck, and just being bullied everywhere. So of course I'm gonna try and mend and mold myself into different characters so that I'm liked, because being liked was rare for me. And now I'm in this version of me who has taken very, very intensive therapy very seriously, and it has helped me to just step out of my shell. Not step out of my shell, but become the person I always was, but just was hiding it and masking it for so very long. And it's truly, obviously, freeing. And now I'm at this point of this journey where I just don't care, because I still used to be afraid when I was trying to step out. And, you know, my therapist gave me some tips and stuff like that, and I used to be very scared and timid still, but I tried it. But now I'm at this point where I don't give a fuck. I don't care if people don't like me or hate me or whatever the fuck it is. It's just about me being comfortable in who I am. And if people vibe with that, that's cool. And if they don't, I don't care. You're not aligned. You're not meant for me. And so I guess this video is kind of a way to help you get to that, to be that, to honor that. And it does not have to be this hard, crazy thing. Like, it really does not. It's just about you. Just choose it. Just do it. And fight your brain, because it'll try and bring you back down into what it's comfortable with, and the nervous system. But it's all about you. So I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope this was relatable, or, you know, you got some insight from this and understood a few points that might have reflected certain parts in your life. And I just hope that it can bring some sort of healing. Alrighty guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.